I want to do a quick compare and contrast between a Chase Freedom Flex and a Chase Sapphire Preferred. So, if you are on the market for a credit card nowadays, and you might probably think about Chase is a great choice anyway when it comes to credit cards. But the Freedom Flex and the Sapphire Preferred are pretty great cars, especially when it comes to specific perks, specific rewards. And if you have I would say a particular lifestyle, if your spending patterns are a little different, you might go for the Freedom Flex or the Sapphire Preferred, and I'll break it down for you, okay? And I'll explain to you why. So, but the key takeaways here, if you like a bird's eye view of this conversation, will actually explain to you that basically the Chase Freedom Flex offers a rotating quarterly categories as well as ongoing rewards for travel, dining, and drugstore purchases. That means what? It means that you have to track those categories. If you have rotating categories, you have to track them. That just means that you have to have a little bit of what I call budgetary discipline. Otherwise, you can't really track those rotating categories. Okay, so you have to track them. Those are quarterly categories. But with the Freedom Flex, you also have ongoing rewards for travel, dining, and drugstore purchases. So make sure that those are spending areas that fit into your budget, that fit into your spending patterns. Okay, so the Chase Sapphire Preferred actually offers points on dining, streaming, okay, online grocery purchases, and travel for a $95 annual fee. So there is an annual fee with the Sapphire Preferred, but there is none with the Freedom Flex. Okay, so because the Sapphire Preferred has superior travel redemptions and one-on-one transfers to Chase airline and hotel partners, it can be especially good. It can be a good deal. Okay, for you if you want more cash if you want more ways actually to cash in your rewards, especially depending on your situation, your family situation. Okay, so let me look at. I want to show you right now, real fast, the main details here. So in terms of welcome bonus, again, I'll go through this in detail later on, but I just want to give you a quick recap, real fast. Okay, so welcome bonus, you have one for both. You have the rewards rate. So I'm showing this on the screen, so I want you to look on the screen here so you can see the rewards rate. Okay, rewards rate for the Sapphire Preferred, rewards rate for the Freedom Flex, and you have the intro APR, the annual fee. There's $95 for the Sapphire Preferred, and the points value. That's what you have for the Freedom Flex versus the Sapphire Preferred. Now, let me talk to you about the details here. If you think about the Chase Freedom Flex versus the Chase Sapphire Preferred, I want to really go into the nitty gritty. I want to really explain to you which criterion is better, which criteria are really critical. Okay, so let's first talk about the welcome bonus winner. So when it comes to welcome bonus, you have the Chase Sapphire Preferred actually winning big time. Okay, and so if you're interested in having a credit card that has a superior welcome bonus, go for the Chase Sapphire Preferred because as a new cardholder, you can receive a first year bonus of 100,000 points after spending 5,000 within 3 months. So depending on your budget, depending on your spending patterns, depending on your financial profile, $5,000 within the first 3 months ain't really that complicated. It shouldn't be that complicated. Okay, so now this welcome bonus is worth $1,250 in travel via Chase Travel, or a staggering $2,000 when transferred to travel partners. Okay, so that's really good. That's really good. So you have 1,250 potentially, or 2,000. Okay. Now, what about the Chase Freedom Flex? Well, the bonus here is only $200 when you spend $500 within 3 months of account opening. So you can see that really the Chase Sapphire Preferred really wins. Okay, I mean, now having said that, the Sapphire Preferred has a considerably higher spending requirements. Right, instead of 500, you have to spend 5,000. So you need to spend around 1,660. So that's actually $1,666 per month on your card for 3 months in a row to earn its bonus. Okay, so if you tend to be a lane spender, The Chase Freedom Flex only requires you to spend $166, okay, across the same time period. So, you have to see what really works for you. In terms of the rewards rate winner, the Chase Freedom Flex card is actually the winner because basically the you have to understand that the Chase Freedom Flex gives you flexibility in terms of you in terms of earning 5% cash back on travel, not cash back, 5% back on travel booked through Chase Travel, 3% back on dining and drugstore purchases, and 1% on everything else. So that's really good. So in terms of annual fee winner, you have to really understand that the Chase Freedom Flex is the winner here. Why? Because of flexibility. Okay, this card doesn't charge an annual fee, so that makes it the obvious winner in this category. Now, keep in mind, the Chase Sapphire Preferred charges actually $95 per year. Okay, but you as a cardholder, you enjoy up to $50 in statement credit annually toward a hotel stay booked via the Chase Travel Portal, and that credit alone offset more than half of the annual fee if you can use it. I mean, you still have to be able to use it because if you're not a frequent traveler, if you don't need that kind of service, then it's not really worth it for you, right? So it's one thing you need to really understand. You need to understand, and you need to budget. You need to budget for. What about the foreign transaction fee winner? Here, the Chase Sapphire Preferred actually wins, okay? Because basically, it doesn't charge you any transaction fee, any foreign transaction fee. Listen, this is pretty common because this is a common practice among travel credit cards. They usually don't charge you a foreign transaction fee because I mean, the whole idea is to incentivize you, is to encourage you to use those cards overseas. So if they start charging you fees on card usage, you people are not going to be interested in using the cards. So with the Chase Freedom Flex, you will need to pay an additional 3% in foreign transaction fees for every purchase you make outside the United States, okay? So if you frequently travel internationally or even shop with international merchants from the comfort of your own home, you will quickly make up for the Sapphire Preferred's annual fee with how much you save on foreign transaction fees, okay? So the fact that when you think about foreign transaction fees, it's not just about traveling. I mean, if you are, like I said, if you are in Ohio, if you are in New York and you shop on a German website or you shop on a British website, you still are on the you're going to really be like you're going to be paying those foreign transaction fees. So, which card earns the most? If you think about Chase Freedom Flex versus Chase Sapphire Preferred, you have to really understand that it really depends on your spending patterns. It depends on your spending categories, and it depends also on your household budget. Okay, let me give you a hypothetical example so you can see like what I really mean in real life. Let's say you want to use your Chase credit card for all your regular spending, like you are really charging everything from groceries to miscellaneous purchases. That trip, that little weekend trip to grandma, or like that travel that you have to really everything. You charge it on the Chase credit card, and if you hope to earn the highest rate of rewards possible in any given quarter, you have to really you have to plan. Like I said, so your spending. I'm gonna put this on the screen. So your quarterly spending might look like something that you currently have on the screen. Take a look. So you have a $1,500 spent on groceries, $800 spent on Chase travel, $400 spent at restaurants, and $250 spent on miscellaneous purchases. So with the Chase Freedom Flex, you would earn $69.50 in rewards for the quarter. So that breaks down to $15 in cash back from grocery spending, $40 back from Chase travel, $12 back from dining, and $250 back on all other spending. So you can see that you have a pretty particular breakdown. So for this example, none of these categories fall into the current rotating bonus categories. That's what I said to you about the rotating categories, you need to track them. Okay, so none of those categories actually are no none of those categories come into play in this quarter. So if you happen to spend $1,500 in the bonus category, you have the potential to earn an additional $75, making your total earnings $144.50, right? So that's $69.50 plus $75. However, it also means that there may be quarters where it's much lower. If you use instead the Chase Sapphire Preferred, you would earn 9,950 points, worth 999.50 in cash back or statement credits. So that breaks down to $45 in cash back from the online grocery spending, $40 back from Chase Travel, $12 back from dining, and $250 back on all other spending. After accounting for the annual fee, your net earnings are actually $4.50. Note, however, that this hypothetical example that I just that I chose for you, doesn't take into account redemption options or the welcome bonus on each card. More specifically, if you choose to redeem your 9,950 points earned through the Sapphire Preferred for, let's say, travel via the Chase portal, they will be worth around $124 thanks to the 25% points boost. So that's really something to really think about. And further, if you transfer to the right higher value Chase hotel or airline partner, your points could be worth about 2 cents a piece. That's really good according to our calculations. So that brings your potential value to $199. So after accounting for the annual fee, your net earnings are actually $104. That's really good. So why should you get the Chase Freedom Flex? Let's quickly talk about that. I want to talk about the Chase Free. I want to talk about the choice you need to make first. Okay. So the Chase Freedom Flex is actually a World Elite Mastercard, which actually provides you with a wealth of benefits. Okay, and I really mean it in terms of benefits. You can't really find better on the market right now. So you are speaking about zero liability protection and Mastercard ID theft protection to cell phone protection. Okay, so that's really good. And let me give you a few reasons why you might want to seriously look at the Chase Freedom Flex this year. Why you should really you want to have a card like that. Okay, so this card actually gives you purchase protection against damage or theft. So something were to happen, somebody were to really steal your card, you're covered. Okay, you're covered. There's no problem. You're really covered. And one thing I also want to say here is that you also have extended warranty. You have auto rental, collision damage waiver. So something were to happen, you rent a car and something were to happen, an accident, God forbid, at least you're covered. Okay, with the Chase Freedom Flex. You also have trip cancellation and interruption insurance, and you have travel and emergency assistance services. So this is really good, especially when it comes to flexibility. So keep in mind though, the Chase Freedom Flex also offers an intro APR of 0% on purchases and balance transfers for 15 months. So 15 months, you're not paying anything. You're not paying anything at all. They're not charging you, okay? But once the 15 months are over, you have to account for 19% to 29% APR. So this is actually this is a benefit that you don't get with a Chase Sapphire Preferred, and it's one that could save you considerable amounts of money if you wind up carrying a balance on your card during the first 15 months that you're using the card, or if you're looking to even cover a large purchase, okay? And also redemption options. So while the Chase Freedom Flex is a cashback credit card at heart, you technically can earn Chase Ultimate Rewards points, which can be redeemed for cashback in the form of statement credit or direct deposit. And additional redemption options include travel through the Chase Travel Portal, gift cards, merchandise. You also have purchases in the Apple Ultimate Rewards store, and paying with points on Amazon.com and via PayPal. So that's really cool. Now, you have to know that unlike the Sapphire Preferred, Ultimate Rewards points earned with the Freedom Flex can be transferred to Chase's travel partners. Now, to access this option, you need to pull your Freedom Flex points with a premium Chase card like the Sapphire Preferred. So that's for the Freedom Flex right now. If you're listening to me right now, why should you get the Chase Sapphire Preferred? The thing is that the Freedom Flex actually is a great card in its own right? But many rewards enthusiasts still swear by the Chase Sapphire Preferred, and here is why. Let me just explain to you why. One thing for sure, this card, the Chase Sapphire Preferred, benefits. It has benefits that include an annual $50 hotel statement credit. That's what I said before, like statement credit toward a hotel stay booked via the Ultimate Rewards portal, and you also have an anniversary points bonus equal to 10% of your spending on the card from the prior year. Can you imagine that? 10%, that's pretty high, especially if you've had a good year and you've spent a lot, and so 10% in terms of benefits can really add up big time. Okay, so that's for the basic features, the basic benefits. You also have other advantages with this card. You have trip cancellation and interruption insurance. You have baggage delay insurance. You have trip delay. You have trip delay reimbursement. You have primary auto rental collision damage waiver. You have purchase protections. You have extended warranty. So extended warranty can really help you big time in terms of flexibility, but also in terms of let's say accessibility. So thanks to its array of perks, the Sapphire Preferred is actually considered to be among the best credit cards for travel insurance. And I've covered the other credit cards for travel insurance on this show before, but I can tell you that the Sapphire Preferred is really a great card in that department. What about redemption options? So basically, the Sapphire Preferred really stands out in terms of rewards redemption. While you have the same options as the Freedom Flex, you get 25% more value when you redeem points for travel through Chase Travel, plus the option to transfer points to high value Chase Travel partners. So that's really good. So the bottom line here is that which one should you go for? Chase Freedom Flex versus Chase Sapphire Preferred. One thing for sure, you are still in the Chase family of credit cards, right? So which means you have quality already, you have accessibility, and you have the potential to have a high credit limits, okay? But when it comes down to those two credit cards, your choice will depend on your spending patterns, will depend on your lifestyle, will depend on your travel, the kind of travel you like to have, but most importantly, will also depend on whether or not you're comfortable paying a $95, like paying an annual fee. Because the thing is that if you would rather just pay an annual fee, or if you'd rather earn more bonus points in a broader range of categories with no annual fee, or would rather prefer the option to redeem for superior travel experiences via point transfers to Chase airline and hotel partners. Okay, so it really depends on your preferences. At the end of the day, your decision will boil down to your situation, your budget situation, your family situation, your travel preferences, and most importantly, your the kind of usage you want to have on the card. Don't forget that if you go with the Freedom Flex, you have those rotating categories to account for. Anytime you have rotating categories, you have the potential for tracking. You need to actually track those expenses. Otherwise, you'll be leaving money on the table big time. Okay. Now, one thing I want to explain to you is that you can start with one card. You don't have to get those two. You don't have to make a choice right now. You can choose one, and then you can apply for the second card down the road. So you can pull your points actually that way. Okay. But don't forget that with Chase, you actually you need to keep the 524 rule in mind. Okay, because the more Chase credit cards you accumulate, the potential for you to be in violation of the Chase 524 rule, and you have to really account for that rule. So, in conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about the Chase Freedom Flex versus the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Which ones you should go for? It really depends. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.